This environmental impact assessment was drafted by Sharon Jones, a principal environmental consultant for SRK Consulting. The Cape Town International Airport was opened in 1954 and is one of the 3 international airports in South Africa. It proposed to build a modern runway pivoted counterclockwise by 11.5 degrees to replace the presently existing essential runway. The north end of the modern runway is situated 250 meters to the east of the current runway 01 to 19. It complied with international determination for Code F in airship, expanded runway capacity, and enable future air terminal expansion. Cape Town International Airport is within the Cape Flats and immediately off north of N2. The property is around 975 hectares, incorporating the now existing essential and secondary runway and the travelers terminal building to the west of the runways, the cargo offices to the north, and a little parcel of immature arrives to the east of the runways. This encourages the airplane terminal property and adjoining to the existing airport. The purpose of this environmental impact assessment report is to identify and assess the potential biophysical and socio-economic impacts and determine measures to mitigate the negative impacts and enhance the benefits associated with the proposed realignment of the primary runway and development of associated infrastructure at the Cape Town International Airport. The report presents the finding of the impact assessment phase and the public participation that forms part of this process. Furthermore, for mitigation measurements to be decided on, environmental impacts were identified, such as air quality, noise, fresh water ecology, terrestrial ecology, hydrology, socio-economic, health, and transport, and each of those impacts had a list of mitigation. In a summary, the most important mitigations that were listed were to remove any soil contamination through spills to a hazardous place or landfill, mapping areas of high and low sensitivity on site, defining applicable legislative requirements regarding any permit application required, ensure that the construction equipment is at good working order and is properly maintained. The biggest environmental impact for airports that they had was the noise impact. The noise mitigation at the Cape Town International Airport is one of the critical impacts of the runway realignment. Airport company South Africa commenced the process of stakeholders engagement, holding the principle of the ICAO's balanced approach. In terms of the noise principle, the airport company in South Africa held meetings with airlines discussing the safety implication and the feasibility of mitigation measures. For example, to establish and maintain effective communication channels with the affected public, for example, using social media, internet systems, also to provide real information about outgoing and incoming flights and their evolving noise footprints. Furthermore, investigating use of the preferential runways as means of reducing noise. For example, encouraged on a takeoff runway, a flight pass over large areas with no population. However, cautious was to be exercised as some of the adjustment area towards the south were densely populated. In conclusion, the EIA report identified and assess the potential biophysical and socioeconomic inputs. And it also generated, the runway re-enlightenment generated several significant impacts, but most of those were reduced to complaint levels that the recommended mitigation measures meant were implemented. Thank you.